Alright, Ramlethal Valentine. Fun fact about Ramlethal Valentine, probably just gonna keep going with Ramlethal. She is one of my worst matchups in the whole game, right behind Elfelt. So, I have very strong feelings towards this character, not very good feelings. However, I'll try and repress them for the sake of the video. As a character, I don't think Ramlethal is actually that bad. She's actually quite... I actually think she's a very funnily written character, eating a cheeseburger and then deciding on world peace or something like that. I don't remember the entire context, but it is quite funny. I think it was a bit more to it. I think Bedman had a bit more to do with that. We'll get to that, don't worry. I know you just raised your fucking eyebrow if you've never played Guilty Gear before. We'll get to Bedman. And, yeah. As a playable character, she's a very solid character. She's at the top of everyone's tier list for a reason. At least she was. I don't know. Surely she still is. She's still a very good character, in my opinion. I don't think she'd be any lower than she was. She's very good. She has good pressure. She has good combos. She does a lot of damage. She has a super that I don't like, but if you play Guilty Gear, you probably know the super I'm talking about. The one that comes out really fast and just does a lot of damage, and no one likes it. No one likes it except RAM players, but RAM players don't like it when they get hit with it either, so it is what it is, really. Fuck, what else do I say? Necessary Discrepancy, her theme, is the song I do not like. It is the one song out of all 27 of the character themes I believe we have now, or 26, I think it's 26 characters or 26, that we have in the game at the moment, that I don't like. I don't know why, Necessary Discrepancy just isn't my thing. I will try listening to it again at some point. Either way, Ramlethal, for a new player, is very good to pick up. She is a very good character. She has, as I said, good pressure, good damage. She has a fucking really good wake-up ult. What else do I say about her? I feel like I've had a lot more to say about other characters, even Millia got a lot more love than this. She's part of the Valentine stuff, which I think were, like, assassin robots made to, like, kill someone. I don't know if it's Soul or something. I don't know much about the Valentine lore. That is also pretty well entrenched in the main story lore, so you're probably not going to hear much for Elfelt or Ramlethal. Yeah, sorry to Ramlethal, man, I just can't think of anything to say, honestly. It's Ramlethal. Is she easy to play? Yeah, I guess. Can she be good? Yeah. Plenty of guides on YouTube, probably. I don't know. I don't know much about Ramlethal. It is very hard to discuss a character that I've spent my entire game time fucking avoiding because I do not like fighting her. So, take it as you will, I guess. I guess on to the next character since I got nothing else. Here's a character I should have a little bit more to say on, as Leo Whitefang is actually one of my favourite characters in the entire game. Maybe not to play necessarily, just I like his aesthetic, I like his vibe, and I like a bit of his story. I don't know an incredible amount of Leo Whitefang, don't get me wrong, but what I do know has thoroughly impressed me, actually. I do quite like Leo. So earlier in the video, you might have heard me mention Leo as PTSD. Leo was once a soldier, he is now the leader of a country, and he has immense survivor's guilt, as told in his theme, Hellfire, which is, side note, one of my favourite songs in the playlist. Yeah, he has immense survivor's guilt. He feels he was just a soldier, why should he get to survive over everyone else, and now he spends his entire life thinking about that while running a country simultaneously. It must be pretty fucking complicated trying to do that. Gameplay-wise, Leo is a rushdown character. His entire gimmick is getting backwards. I'm not kidding. If you see it in the gameplay, if you see him facing backwards, that is not a bug, that is Leo's mechanic. He has more damage, more combos, and just overall better moves when he is facing backwards. He can also not jump or crouch when he is facing backwards, which is quite funny. To my knowledge, he can also not block, because the entire point of that mode is just being all-out offense, which is really cool. I really do like that mechanic. It's very unique, I feel. They could have called him a unique character, and I think he would have fit right in to that category, because what other character in what other fighting game goes backwards? Like, do you know one? I don't. For newer players, I believe Leo is actually a very good character to pick up. While he seems complicated on the surface, once you learn how to go backwards and how to combo while in his backward state, honestly, Leo is capable of very good things. Sure, will you struggle with him in the beginning? Yes, but that's kind of the same for every character. Maybe not Soul or Kai or anything because of how simple they are to play. But Leo is not that, bad in terms of simpleness. You might look at him initially and think, man, this character is very complicated, you have to, get backwards and you need to, learn combos, but that's all it is. Learn how to go backwards and then just learn combos. I know that sounds like dumbing it down a lot, but realistically, that's all it is. Kind of that's what fighting games are in general, just learning combos. And like how to implement them in neutral and stuff, right? Overall, Leo I think is actually a great character for new players to pick up. Am I saying this because I want to see more Leos online because I think he deserves more playtime? No. Would that be nice though? Yes, I love Leo. I would love to see more players like use Leo. I think Leo is a great character and I think more people should try him out. Is he a character I'll ever main? Who knows, maybe. I've even been thinking about making an Elden Ring video based around Leo. I know I'm making it sound like Leo's my favourite character in the entire game. He's not even in my top 3. But I do love Leo. I think Leo is a great character and he should be used more. He should be explored more. I believe there's potential there. There are plenty of pro players that actually use Leo very effectively. And it's always fun to watch a Leo main just absolutely wreck house. I once went in the open park and got absolutely thrashed by a level 1134 Leo Whitefang player. That shit was the most traumatic experience of my life and now I am scared to fight any Leo. Anyway, that's about it for the our soldier with PTSD. Our absolutely fucking cross-slinging, bearded king, Leo Whitefang. If you like soldiers, I guess, I don't know. No, if you like a character that's a bit unique in the way he plays, but is very attack-oriented, Leo Whitefang is probably the character for you. I'd give him a shot. Probably expect an Elden Ring build based around him if I can figure it out in the near future. I really do like Leo. Alright, that's about it for Leo. Can you tell I have a lot more to say about a character when I actually like that character? Welcome to the Nagoriyuki section of the video. In this section, we will be covering the character Nagoriyuki. Can you tell once again that this part is unscripted? Nagoriyuki is the resident samurai character. Obviously, there had to be at least one samurai in the game. He's a vampire samurai, and I believe he is based on the real-life Black Samurai. If you didn't know, I don't remember what period, but in Japan there was a real-life Black Samurai, and I believe Nagoriyuki actually takes inspiration from that, which is really cool. His sword is made of a material that can kill a bad guy. To my knowledge, it is the only material that can do this. So Nagoriyuki is actually a very big character in Strive's story. He's very important. He's not a bad guy though. That's covered in the actual story. Happy Chaos just sort of makes him do his bidding, but Nagoriyuki feels very bad for this, so Nago just kind of ends up becoming a good guy after the story. I don't remember too much of Strive's story, sadly. But yeah, one thing I've noticed in Guilty Gear is representation is done very well. It's not like a crazy amount of representation, like it's not like Split. But the fact that this game has a black character and some games just straight don't is already pretty good. I understand representation is very important to some people. They like to be able to relate to a character. So having that as an option is very good. And Nago is a very good character, in my opinion. Is he easy for new players to pick up? 50-50. He does solid damage. He is very good. He has very good mix-ups and stuff. However, you need to be able to micromanage his Blood Rage meter. His Blood Rage builds up over time during the match when using certain moves. It can be decreased by using other moves, or if I believe he just doesn't do anything. I believe it has a blood effect on the sword itself. It means he's building up his meter. If the meter builds up too far, you will do more damage and you have a new super. However, you will drain half of your HP very quickly. It will not kill you if you are under half HP, so that's always a good thing to know. But it will leave you at 1 HP, meaning you can be killed very easily. So Nagoriyuki does require a little bit of micromanaging. If you're confident in your micromanagement, then by all means, go for Nagoriyuki. If you're not too confident in being able to micromanage certain things and making sure you don't lose half your health just because you used a move, maybe save Nagoriyuki for a different, different time when you're a bit better at it. However, for anyone that still wants to use Nagoriyuki, he is a very solid character. I have been beaten by a few Nagoriyukis. Me and Nagoriyuki actually have a very friendly rivalry, it seems. I fight, I win, we fight, he wins sometimes, it is how it is. I haven't met a single toxic Nago man. I haven't not met a single toxic person playing this game, actually. Maybe the community is good. But I also play in Japanese servers, so even if they could send me hate mail, not like I could see it. Not like I could read it. So I guess there's that. But either way, Nagoriyuki is a very good character. He's a bit hard to play just because he's heavy character like Potemkin. The only reason he has a forward dash is because it's an inbuilt move. It's not actually him forward dashing. But with stuff like command grabs and just solid moveset, Nagoriyuki is a very good character, and I see a lot of high-level players playing Nagoriyuki for a very good reason. He's a very good character, and I would recommend him wholeheartedly to anyone who's willing to try him. Giovanna is a character that I believe is actually quite a simple character, maybe not in gameplay but in story, as to my knowledge she's very new to Strive, so her lore hasn't actually been fully fleshed out yet. To my knowledge, she is a police woman who helps defend the president. That's about all I actually know about Giovanna lore-wise. I don't know how she got her Fushiguro demon dog or why she's dressed like a Chainsaw Man character, but yeah, I don't know much about Giovanna, if it wasn't obvious. She can turn green, I don't know why she does that. I don't know, once again, I don't know anything about her dog, I don't even know if it has a name. It probably does, I doubt they would have made that dog and then not named it. So much like Ramlethal, I'm probably not going to be able to say much about Giovanna, however, I can say I actually do like fighting against Giovanna. She's a very fun character to fight against, and if, a bit like Chip and, who was the other character I said that you could run up to people and just press buttons? I don't remember. I don't think it was Leo. Who was it? I don't remember. But Geo is another character you can definitely do that with. You can run up to people and press buttons and she'll be very efficient at it. I'm not saying, like, spamming, I'm just saying, like, she's a very good button presser. Like, all of her buttons are very good, a lot of them are safe. She's very good. Very good beginner character, I've noticed, for people who like rushdown characters. Rushdown characters always seem to be pretty good for new players because, especially early on in the tower, not many people actually know how to block. So all you gotta do is just time your own hit right, and then if you know your combos on GA, you'll be fine. You'll fall off a bit higher if you don't let yourself learn how to block and like how to do neutral better, but especially early game, you'll be doing fine. So Geo is a character that can definitely start you off on a really good track and keep you going for a very long time. Sorry, excuse me. But, other than that, sadly, I don't have much to say on Geo. It was actually a bit shorter than Ramlethal, which is a surprise. Yeah, I don't know. I just don't know anything about Giovanna, sadly. If you in the comments, if any Giovanna players would like to enlighten me a little bit on Giovanna, then feel free. I'm always willing to learn more about the Guilty Gear franchise in general. And, yep, sadly that'll be it. But, once again, go down to the comment section. If people have listened good old Giovanna lore, then I'll be sure. I heart, like, every comment, just because I don't get many of them, you know what I mean? So, I try and be nice about it. But, yeah, I will, I'll definitely pin anyone that gives some, like, really good insight into Geo lore, so I'll definitely do that, since she's the character I probably know actually the least about, because, as I said, she's very new to Strive, and she's not even that important in the story, to my knowledge. So hopefully we see more of Geo in another Guilty Gear game. Anyway, that's it for Geo. Let's move on. Alright, next on the metaphorical chopping block is Anji Mito, the only character that has a built-in parry. I believe there's an actual parrying mechanic, but I've never seen anyone do it, so I'm going to pretend like only Anji has a parry. Anji is a character that, to my knowledge, has actually been climbing up in the rankings very recently. He's a character that a lot of people are realizing the strength of, which is very cool. Anji is a very fun character to watch play. Do I think I could ever play Anji? No, I'm not very good at parrying, and I just genuinely am not a good Anji player. I have tried before, and it's just not something I'm capable of. However, if you ever see a good Anji player, remember when I said that Zato players are probably like the 10,000 IQ players of Guilty Gear Strive? Yeah, Anji players are like the 9,000 IQ. They're not about the same level as Zato, but they are pretty damn fucking close, I won't lie. Maybe even like 9,999. Like, they are not much, like, dumber than a fucking Zato man. Like, Zato players are just a little bit smarter, but that's about it. Like, Anji requires a lot of skill. So, warning to new players. Anji is a very complicated character. You may think he's cool, but he will fuck your shit up if you do not know how to play him. I guess you will get your shit fucked up if you try and play Anji without knowing how to play him. The parry is not as open and free as you might think it is, and it just genuinely requires some actually really good timing. However, some positives about Anji. Anji is capable of a lot of damage. He is a very fun and elegant character to watch, like, actually fight. And if you enjoy playing him, then by all means, I think he could be one of the best Guilty Gear players in general. Playing Anji probably means you have a very good understanding of how other, like, people think, and means you know how other characters play. If you're an Anji main, you could probably go to any other character and pick them up fairly quickly because you know their movesets quite well just because you need to know when to parry and what to parry on certain characters. Don't get me wrong, it doesn't mean that you'll be able to pick up another character instantly, but you will have an advantage over people just starting on a character or coming from a different character. As I said, Anji players about 1 IQ level below Zato players, but that's literally just because they do not have to control a second Anji. If there was a second Anji on field at all times, then maybe they'd be a lot fucking smarter than Zato players. I don't know. They're very close in that category. No, but Anji players are very always fun people to see on YouTube and stuff. They're always so. I have never found a non-welcoming like Twitch streamer or YouTuber that uses Anji. They're all very nice, and they will all give you. I'm sure they will all be willing to give you tips on how to play their favorite character in Guilty Gear. Anji is a great character. Lore-wise, I can't say I know much about Anji. I know him and Baiken have a thing going on, but I'm not too sure. Anji is very cool. There's a bunch of jokes about him being able to turn straight men gay because he's a very handsome character. I can't say for sure if I'm in that boat. Definitely other characters that definitely are, such as Sin. Sin is a very handsome man. But that's about it. Anji, I'll see you in the next character. Ino is a witch character in the game, and she is a very powerful character, both lore-wise and as an actual playable character. Ino is a very good mix-up character. She can hit highs, she can hit lows very quickly in very rapid succession. A good Ino player will be able to just completely counter anything you try and do, just simply by pressing a few buttons, because as I said, she can go high, she can go low, she can do whatever the fuck she wants really, because she's a very fast character. If you don't know what I mean by going in high and low, you need to block low for some moves, you need to block high for some moves. She can just switch between those very fast, making it very hard to react to literally anything she does. No, in the story, Ino is pretty much a god, and during the story, she's trying to get her powers back. If you remember all the way back from Axel's little bit, I did mention Ino. That is because Ino is, I don't know if it's an alternate version or she is, or something along those lines. She is, for the sake of the video, we're going to say she is Axel's girlfriend. And this is basically just a more evil version of her, I guess. And at the end of the story, she actually performs a swap with Axel's girlfriend at the time when Axel was actually transported away. And they meet up again, and it's very nice and heartwarming and stuff. Ino, in general, is a very well-written character. She's been in the Guilty Gear franchise for a while now, to my knowledge. And a lot of people do like her. She is definitely a character in terms of everything she does. She's just a rock witch, you know? Not much else I can really say about Ino in that sense. As a character, though, I don't see too many Ino players, but every time I do go up against an Ino, I feel like I'm about to get my shit rocked because, pun intended, I feel like I'm about to get my shit rocked because Ino players are just a different fucking breed. They play a character that not many people play, and they have the nuts to just go into fucking the tower with absolutely zero experience and just absolutely shit on even the best of fucking, like, I don't know, Kai players and stuff, you know what I mean? Inos are scary, but not for the same reason like Anji is scary, because like he could parry you and you're like, oh shit, that wouldn't be good. Ino is scary because of how fucking incredibly fast she goes between up, down, up, down, up, down. It's like, how? How are you going that fast? Slow the fuck down. No. But my personal experience is with fighting Inos away. As a new player, is Ino easy to use? Same thing as Naga or Yuki, really. Kind of 50-50. I wouldn't say she's insanely easy to use, but I wouldn't say she's the most complicated character in the game either. In terms of meta, she is definitely lower on a tier list, but I don't think meta really matters. You can get to Celestial with every character in this game. The only place that meta really starts to matter in this game is if you plan on doing like high-level tournaments, and even then, I'd be more impressed if I started seeing like Potemkin and Ino players beat like Soul and fucking Happy Chaos players in like massive tournaments. So who knows, maybe you can be the next big Ino player and start taking championships all for yourself. That's about it for Ino. Thankfully, the clip was about to run out anyway, so on to the next character we go.
It's not a big deal.
Alright, what is there to say about Gold Lewis Dickinson? He's probably one of the biggest characters in the game, right behind Potemkin, except I'm 90% sure Potemkin is actually all muscle, whereas Gold Lewis is just a big boy. But there's nothing wrong with that. We love our big boys. I myself am a pretty big boy, so maybe one day I should cosplay Gold Lewis Dickinson. Oh, I'm not quite Gold Lewis big, but Gold Lewis is a secretary in defense, I believe. He is quite good at his job. He carries around a big coffin that holds spirits in it, I'm pretty sure, judging by the hand that comes out, that looks very ghostly. Gold Lewis is a character I can't say I'm very experienced with, and since I have seen like maybe 3 Gold Lewises online, I haven't even fought all of them. I can't actually say I know how much I like fighting against Gold Lewis Dickinson. So he's not a very popular character pick rate wise because his neutral game is kind of weak, but once he gets you in a hit, you can expect at least half your health bar to be gone in the next second. Unlike soul players, while your entire health bar will be gone in one combo, at least that'll take more than a second. Gold Lewis can annihilate your health bar in less than 5, which is really entertaining to watch when Gold Lewis just gets a combo down. If you didn't see how much chip damage he used to that Happy Chaos, he is a very good chip damager. If they're just blocking, just keep fucking hitting things with Gold Lewis and their health will just dissipate anyway. He basically does as much damage as a normal attack would when they block because of how much damage this motherfucker does. I guess they thought they had to compensate because of how fucking insane this character is, I guess. I don't know. I can't say for sure. As I said, I'm not a Gold Lewis player. I don't know any Gold Lewis players. But you gotta be some kind of American or special to play Gold Lewis. That's all I'm saying. No, on the real though, Gold Lewis is a very interesting character. For new players, I wouldn't recommend picking up Gold Lewis immediately. He is a bit more complicated, as I said, his neutral game isn't exactly crazy, but he does a good amount of damage, so you might find yourself enjoying his high damage numbers. There aren't any other characters I can really think of that I like Gold Lewis, so if you do like Gold Lewis, then by all means, absolutely feel free to use him. By the way, this marks our first of the DLC characters. Gold Lewis and every other character you'll see after this is all DLC. Every character beforehand came with the game. I myself have every DLC character, so it's all good. But, just letting you know, from this point on, these will all be DLC characters. So starting from Gold Lewis all the way up to Elfelt, our newest character, will all be DLC. You need to spend at least $11 Australian on them, or you can buy the season passes for about $40 Australian to get all the characters from that season. But anyway, I digress. That's Gold Lewis. Let's move on. Alright, Jacko, also known as, I think, Angelica, I think was her name. I don't remember. Angela, maybe? I think it's Angela, not Angelica. That was a bit extra. I think it's just Angela. Also known as Soul's wife, or Frederick's wife, however you know this character. Jacko is a Valentine, to my knowledge, one of the 3 we have in the game. Just off lore, her name isn't Jacko Valentine, although it might be, I don't know. Her name is just Jacko in Strive, and I don't know too much about the game's overall lore, as I said before. However, what I do know is, as I said, Jacko was what was once Soul's wife, who was dying of an incurable disease and got turned into a big fucking robot, and then Soul killed that robot, and then it happened a couple more times and he got left with Jacko. And long story short, he now lives a very happy life with Jacko, I'm sure. Anyway, gameplay-wise, Jacko is, I guess, a puppet character, except she's very different to the way Zato works. While Eddie is out pretty much all the time, Jacko actually has to individually summon her minions. She can summon up to 3 of them, and she can make them do different things. They can guard, they can attack, they can explode, I think, and she can even kick them into them, which does a surprising amount of damage. Jacko is a character I don't see much online, which is a shock. I actually thought Jacko would be a lot more popular, as for a lot of people, she's best girl. For me personally, it's not Jacko, I don't think. I'd have to look at all the characters again. I think it's Blyken. Blyken's pretty cool, but we'll get to Blyken. Anyway, Jacko's a very cool character that you don't actually see much of online, so it's hard for me to give an exact opinion on why I feel about fighting her. However, I can say for newer players, she'll be very complicated. Having to summon your own minions mid-fight can be very strange. However, you're able to put up some really good pressure with just constantly kicking them at someone and just not letting them open their guard. Timed right, you can pretty much kick and summon all at the same time with almost no issues. And if you're wondering, yes, Jacko is the same character where that fucking pose came from ages ago. If you remember a few years ago when Guilty Gear Strive sort of came out and Jacko was coming out. She got very well known for a certain pose she did. That is her crouch animation. I'm not kidding, that is her crouch animation. She does every time she crouches. So if you're crouch blocking, you're looking at that the whole time. So if you're wondering where that came from, and if you're wondering if it's the same person, yes it is. This is the same Jacko. Anyway, overall, Jacko is a pretty fun character. She's just lovable in more than one way. She's just fun. She's a fun character. She's very lighthearted. Her theme is very lighthearted, also kind of depressing, but so is everyone's fucking theme, except Sin, so I guess that's normal at this point. Either way, that's pretty much Jacko. I can't say much, as I said, no one really plays her online, and I don't play her myself, so it's hard for me to give an actual sort of listing for the character, in a sense. I can't say I know too much about Jacko, so I'll leave it at that, but for the most part, I would say she is quite hard for him to pick up, so if you do end up picking up Jacko as a DLC character, just bear in mind that she might be a bit harder to get your head around than you might have thought originally. Here's the moment that what is probably a lot of you have been waiting for. Happy Chaos, aka one of my favorite characters in all of Guilty Gear, aka that one dude that keeps being at the top of everyone's tier list despite getting nerfed constantly, aka the character that can't go a single tournament without being booed at least once. Happy Chaos is a character, as I insinuated earlier, that is very good. However, I'm going to start off with this little section here. As a new player, Happy Chaos I cannot recommend at all. He's a very complicated character to play when you first start out. You need to be able to know how to reload, get concentration back, you need to micromanage, all that. You need to be able to hit combos, you need to know when you're about to run out of bullets, you need to know when you're about to run out of concentration. You can't just reload whenever you want, you can't just get your concentration back whenever you want. Well, I guess you can, concentration actually kind of comes back on its own. But, you know, you need to know how to use your supers, and you know how to, use your guns, so you don't accidentally, if they get wall stuck, you don't accidentally just fire them through the fucking stage, you can actually get a Deus Ex Machina off. There's a lot of things that go into Happy Chaos. It just happens that all of his tools seem to be very strong when you know what you're doing. As a character, he's very complicated, however, once you know what you're doing, he's very good. If you play Dead by Daylight, think Nurse. A brain-dead Nurse isn't very good if they don't know how to use their blink properly, however, once you get into the higher levels of Dead by Daylight, if you start seeing Nurse, you start worrying a bit more because you know damn well that they're probably a really good Nurse, and you're probably fucked. Anyway, long analogy out of the way. Happy Chaos is a very fun character to play, even if you don't know what you're doing, because he just has a straight-up fucking gun. This man is a literal god, and he could do whatever he fucking wanted, but he just decides to fucking shoot people. There's a level in that I kind of respect. Happy Chaos' theme, Drift, is one of the most popular songs in all of Guilty Gear. While it's not in my top 3 personally, it used to be. It is no longer in my top 3 ever. It's still it probably still holds a very special spot in the top 5. Maybe top 6. I don't know. But anyway, Happy Chaos is a character that very often gets booed in Evo tournaments because he's seen as very cheese and very overpowered. However, here's my opinion on it. If a character is complicated, that to the point where new players can't use him properly and probably going to get fucking washed by literally anyone else who plays the game, all that means is someone has mastered the character. All that means is that character has very strong tools, and I don't think that really matters. Happy Chaos, yeah, he might be seen as OP, but I've shit on more Happy Chaoses than I can fucking count on one hand, so that's all I'm saying. Happy Chaos does not mean immediate win button, like I debate other characters like El Felt feel like they are, but that's just my personal matchup. I know I play Solo, so I haven't got much of a running in that race in terms of characters that are OP, but then again, Solo is pretty mid on tier lists now, so I have no idea. By the way, I don't think Happy Chaos is OP as everyone thinks he is. At the end of the day, if you enjoy a character, just fucking play them. Doesn't really matter what other people say. Happy Chaos is funny in the story, Happy Chaos is funny in game. He has some funny interactions, especially if you get a mirror match. He just headbutts people as one of his attacks, he just fucking straight shoots them and shit. If you like Happy Chaos, by all means go for it. Just bear in mind, as I said, if you're a new player and you're looking to buy a DLC character, Happy Chaos mightn't be the one for you, as he's a very complicated character to play. However, if you like the idea of being a god that just decides to fucking shoot people for the fuck of it, then by all means, go ahead and buy Happy Chaos. Just know that you're probably going to go down a very complicated road, probably going to get some hate messages along the way, but overall, as long as you're having fun with the game, that's all that matters. Alright, our, I believe, 4th DLC character is Baiken. One of the few remaining Japanese people after the continent was blown off the face of the fucking planet. Actually, that's about all I know about Baiken, come to think of it. She's a one-armed samurai whose family was killed by the Valentine robots, and she now roams the earth very angry, unless you do the post-story movie, which I think she then becomes less angry. As I said, I don't know too much about Baiken's story, sadly, which I actually really do like Baiken, so I probably should look a bit more into her story, actually, now I think about it. But either way, Baiken is known for 2 things, and they're 2 very big things at that. I kid, kind of. She is known for having really big boobies, though. That is something she is known for. However, she is also known for just being generally a pretty fucking, badass character. One thing I like is that when she fucking grabs you, she tethers you to her, so she can just hit mad fucking combos, because you're never going to be out of her range until the fucking thing goes away, which isn't very long, but Baiken doesn't need long to decimate your fucking health bar. So, that's a thing. Either way, Baiken's a pretty fun character. I have been fucked up by many a Baiken, however, I haven't actually seen many Baikens the higher I climb. I don't know if she's just not a very popular character on the higher ones and a very popular character during the lower tiers, which is surprising because I'd actually say she's a harder character to play. She doesn't have many moves, that are good in every situation. She has a few that are decent in a few situations, and then she has ones that are very situational. So playing Baiken is a bit like a fucking chess game, I guess. I don't know. Figure out what you need at certain points. Now I'm just kind of speaking out my ass. I should probably stop that. As I said, Baiken's a character I don't see much of anymore, so I don't know too much about Baiken, sadly. Just in terms of playstyle. From my little playtesting with Baiken, though, she seems very fun. Tatami Gaishi, I believe it's called, the one with the tatami mat, is a very, actually decent move, and I've fallen for it more than once, because I forget that it actually has a second hitbox. Baiken is really cool. Her animations are really good. They really took into account, the fact that she's a one-armed samurai. I think that's really cool how they really implemented that into the character. Her design is fucking awesome, even ignoring the big bear bears. She actually looks really cool. I like the hair, I like the eye patch, the scar down one of her eye. I think she's really cool, just as a character. I might actually have to start using her, because I genuinely think she's a really cool character. I will have to start looking into her lore a bit more. But, yeah, Baiken's a cool character. Overall, I would recommend to anyone who wants to play Baiken to just give it a shot. Baiken's a character that'll probably take you a bit further than you realise. If you stick with Baiken, you'll probably find some very good results. For new players, she's another one of those 50-50 characters. You could play her well, you could not. Just be a bit more careful, as you do need to spend some money to get your hands on Baiken. So do be careful of that. Make sure you look into Baiken enough before buying her. Same for any DLC character. I love Guilty Gear, so I just bought all the DLC characters. But that's because I can. I don't know if you can. So if you're going to buy a DLC character, make sure it's who you really want. Baiken is definitely a solid choice in that category. Anyway, that's enough of Baiken. Let's move on.